Hi everybody, today we're going to have a look at the new Multivan. So the vehicle's arrived with us on site now, so I've got a couple of examples behind me. So I've got the long wheelbase and a short wheelbase. Today we're going to have a quick look around the two different models. I'm not going to go into too much detail today, but just give you a very quick overview between the two, and then we're going to bring you to another video and look at them individually. We can talk through the specs and things like that between them, and see which one you might prefer. So obviously the Multivan is a replacement for the Caravelle, and it's based off a completely new platform, as you see from here. So it does look a bit smaller in height than the Caravelle version, but once we get inside it, and I'll show you on there very cleverly, because this one's got a pan roof, you've pretty much got the same height inside the vehicle as well. So outside wise, if I look at some of the aesthetics of the vehicle, you'll see it's a lot more streamlined around the front, with this sloping bonnet as it comes up from on here. Wasn't sure myself to start with, but this is really growing on me, this vehicle. I think it's one that you've got to see in the flesh to see how it comes off, but liking it around the front. We've got our integrated parking sensors as they come through, because lots and lots of technology on the new Multivan, but all those type of things we're going to get onto in the next video along. So as we move along, this has got the standard 17-inch wheels which come with the Style version, which is what this is. Nice big wing mirrors on the side as well to help you see behind you as well, because it is a large vehicle this that comes through. And then as we come down the side, if I shut the door, fully electric door. Again, this is the Style, so this is the top of the range version that's on here. We've got the privacy glass down the side. We've got the black section on the B pillar, which we've had before. Windows, so you've got windows in these. You'll see from the one next to us here, which is the Life version, that doesn't have any windows. It's here on the side, just all black all the way along. Our usual filler cap, so this is where you put your petrol in, or with diesel, depending on which version you've got of it. Obviously if it's a hybrid version, we'll show you that on the other one. There's a cap around the side for that as well. Come around to the back of the vehicle, so the tailgate is fully electric, so it comes up and down, so just a press of a button brings the tailgate down. And a nice little feature on the Style version that's here as well is you can just do that with your foot if you move away, and the tailgate opens for you. Love that. And it even works on the side door as well, which is great. You can see from the back of the vehicle here, got a little bit of a partial shelf, loads of space that's in the back. This particular one is the 6-seat version, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the seating in a minute as well, to give you an idea from on there. But plenty of space, huge opening to get all the things that you might want to get into. A level floor, so things go straight in, so you're not going up and down, and it's quite low to the ground as well. So as we come around to the side of the vehicle, it's here. I mentioned about the doors, so it's got the electric doors that's on the side of it, on the Style version. But again, I mentioned to you, you come to the door here and you just put your foot underneath it, and the door opens again for you as well. So we're not going to look at the cab on either vehicle today, because we're going to do that as separate videos when we look at the individual models to show you what that's about. But comparing the two models, we want to have a look more about the actual seating configuration in the two models as well, and obviously the length and overall perspective of the vehicle as well. So we're going to come back to that. So if we swap over now to the other vehicle we've got, which is a Life. So as I was saying, there's two different models. You've got the Life and then you've got the Style, and lots of different options that you can get between them as well. This one is the short wheelbase version as well. So to start with, the doors are manual. So when we're comparing the two, like for like, between the short and the long, the wheelbases themselves are exactly the same. No difference in the wheelbases, but the extra is this bit at the back here. So we take one side and then the other side. That's what the extra you're getting, 200 millimeters. But that 200 millimeters makes a big difference. As you'll see from the walk around shots as well, is this vehicle is quite a lot bigger. Do bear in mind the colour of the vehicle does make a difference on how it appears. So generally speaking, black cars do look slightly smaller than what they would do, say for example, in a lighter colour. So we tend to find things like the silvers, for example, do look a lot bigger again as well. So just bear that in mind when you see the two. You might think there's a bigger difference between them. It's not, it's just the colour on the outside of the vehicle. So around to the back of the boot, so you can see same kind of configuration. So you've got a partial board here, and then obviously you've got your boot space underneath. As I said, this one is a 7-seater, which is what comes standard. It's an option to have 6 seats, and these seats, as I'll show you in a moment, can all move up and down the vehicle, so you can increase and decrease the size of the boot. So the Life version doesn't have electric doors, these are manual doors, and there's no windows in the side either as standard, but you still have got that privacy glass that goes all the way down the side, and the black B-pillar as well, so it gives you that aesthetic as you move down. And the one thing that's different on this vehicle to the other one is the port here on the side. This one is an e-hybrid, so there's your plug socket in there to plug in for your electric charging. Our demo vehicle is one of the e-hybrid versions. I've driven it quite a few times now as well. I really like it. It seamlessly switches between the two if you want it to, and I actually really like it just on electric only mode. It's really good. So last thing to look at when we're comparing these is the seating in the rear. I'm getting lots and lots of questions on this, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to put this video out first as well, to try and explain it and simplify it for you. So as standard, the vehicle comes as a 7-seat. So you've got 3 at the back, which are all individual seats and can all be removed. And then you've got an additional 2 seats in the front here, which again can be removed. So you can remove all the seats if you want to have that maximum load space area, or additionally you can have these. Now the seating works on a slide system, so for example the middle seat in the 3rd row will actually slide all the way forward. So you can have 3 seats here and 2 seats in the back. And you may be asking, what about those armrests? Well, the armrests come off. So if you wanted a 3-seat bench here, you could take both armrests off and the middle one will slide forward. Now these seats are quite clever as well, so to get into the back you just pull the catch on the side here, that comes down, this seat lifts up, and then that allows you to push that all the way forward and get in. So if I pull it back now from on here, pop the seat down and you're back in. You may have noticed on there is a bit of a tray as well, so you have got a bit of storage in the back of those seats as well. So last thing on the 7-seat model, just to clarify for everybody on here as well, is so the seat belt for these seats is here on the C-pillar, so it's down on here, and these seats can only be forward facing. So if you just say that so everybody gets it in there, you can't turn these seats around. So as I said, it comes out, no problems at all. It will even turn around and clip back in, but this seat will not fold back up, so you can't sit on it. I'm assuming that's a safety precaution so that you can't drive with it. So you can't park up, for example, turn the seat around and sit there with it, both from in there as well. So these, on the 7-seat version, all the seats are forward facing. On that note, let's have a look at the 6-seat version, where they can turn round and you can have them down. So on the 6-seat version, as we've got in here, we've got our 2 individual seats here, and we've got our rear 2 individual seats that's there as well. You may notice the 2 rear seats are exactly the same seats as what you would find in the 7-seat version. Obviously they've got armrests on them in here. The armrests in the front seats on the 7 seats do just unclip and will go into the back seats as well. So you can put those armrests on each one as well. Somebody did ask me last week, can you buy more armrests? I haven't checked yet. I'm going to assume you'll be able to buy armrests at some point through the parts department. I've no idea how much they're going to cost. So today we've got this in the conference style, so with all the seats facing into the middle. You'll also notice we've got our table out here. This is the new multi-table. We'll probably do a completely separate video on this table. It is great. So the table slides all the way to the front, all the way to the back of the vehicle, comes in and out from on there. These are just table bits, so they slot back in and it pushes down as well. You can even use that table as well for an armrest, because these 2 seats don't have armrests on them, so there's no armrests on these 2 seats. On the old Caravelle they did have armrests on the individual swivel seats. On these ones they don't, but obviously that is quite a good height, as I will show you now. So if you've been driven along in this conference style, obviously you've got this here, you can have your arm on here because you've got no armrest, it's in there. Really nice comfortable position to be in the vehicle. You've got your armrests on the ones at the back. The only extra I would mention on this particular, on the Style one, is we've got the optional pan roof. So you've got 2 sections of glass, one big section in here and then another section where you'd normally have a traditional sunroof. There's no blinds or anything for these particular glass ones. They shield out about 90% the light. I've driven one that's with it, etc. Really, really good. Makes such a difference to the actual cabin, I think, of the vehicle. It just gives you that extra bit of height when you're sitting in between it as well. So that was our first look at the new Multivan. As I said, this was a comparison between the two to give you an idea on the sides of the vehicles, but more importantly as well is to answer some of them questions that everybody's been asking about the different seating combinations of the two. Obviously we're going to be doing lots more videos on these vehicles because there's so much more to go through as well, and this gives you an idea where these vehicles are going to be going for in the future as well. So when the next generations come out as well, you're going to see a lot of the technology that's on these is going to be progressing throughout the Volkswagen range as well. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. If you want to see more of this type of content on these, pop it in the comments box below, and we'll see you next time.